Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Trash Talk Podcast. The only podcast where, well, we don't really know who the hot one is, but we sure as hell know which one of us is the funny one.
We certainly know which one of us is ugly, and that'd be both of us. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Also, if you haven't noticed, if you're watching this on YouTube, my camera's actually working tonight. For the first episode. I know, it's crazy. My internet actually decided not to crap itself this time, and this is the first episode of this season where you can see my beautiful face. I know you've been deprived for so long now, but
the boss face reveal.
I know. People have been asking me to do that in my channel for so long, and I never got the meme. I don't know where the hell it came from, in all honesty.
I think it just comes from, like, all these YouTubers that don't show their faces, so, YouTubers that do... Yeah, YouTubers that do want to join the bandwagon, so they're like, oh, face reveal at 100 subs.
I mean, that's an interesting subject in itself when it comes to YouTube. There's some creators that I like watching that have never shown their face, and while I understand people like the mystery behind it, like, ooh, what do they look like? Let's see your face. For some creators, I don't really like the idea of that because it has the personality. You're there for the videos. You're there for them, not what they look like, kind of thing.
I mean... When it comes to you, that definitely they're there for the personality.
Yeah, because the quality of my videos and my face are complete shite. So,
true.
It doesn't matter either way.
Hold on, I'm trying to sneeze.
There's your obligatory trash talk sneeze.
Shit, I can't sneeze. Oh.
Damn it, I was hoping for sneeze too, electric boogaloo.
Hopefully one day I'll be able to learn how to sneeze.
Smelly cheese sneeze reveal? Possibly.
So anyways, guys, welcome to the section of the podcast where we review a different podcast. Today we're talking about Ryan's podcast.
It's the very first segment. Wow, I can't believe it. We're reviewing another podcast. It happens to be mine. Wow.
I want to get rid of every listener from the start, so we can talk about like all the dirty stuff at the end.
Terrible way. That way the dedicated fans are listening to us talk about a crappy up-and-coming podcast. For the record, I'm proud of the episodes I've made so far. Thank you very much, everyone who did know.
So I don't even know if the episode we recorded last week can even be posted. I still haven't edited it yet. So let's imagine that it exists. If not,
so let's pretend.
If not, basically,
none of this is gonna matter.
If not, basically, I got distracted. I got a text message. Sorry.
Of course you did. Wow, we're very professional here on this podcast. You can tell right away.
I'm sorry. I'll start again.
Damn it, Emilio.
To my friend who literally just sent me a message. Fuck you. You got me out of my trash talk game mode. No, but Ryan revealed that whilst I was away shooting the show that we talked about in the episode with Cole, if the previous episode doesn't exist. Oops, sorry.
Yeah. Oopsie doopsie.
He started his own show, his own podcast. I thought it was a meme, but turns out the show actually exists.
Literally, when I told him about it, when we were recording the last episode last week at the time we're filming this one, I told him I started my own podcast called The Boss Cast, which is a combination of both gaming content and like bringing guests on, that kind of thing. He thought it was a joke. He checks it out after the episode and he's like, dude, it's actually decent. Like, you were expecting to be complete shit right off the bat.
I was a guest in the original. I was a guest in the original Boss Cast. Of course, I would have low expectations.
It's probably the biggest compliment I could have gotten. The original Boss Cast, because they were not good videos. Yeah. This podcast is actually pretty good. I've started on Anchor, Spotify, and a few other places. Thank you very much. Damn, the internet connection's starting to cut out. Dang.
Yeah, I think we should...
I knew this face cam was too good to be true.
It was too good to be true.
Gosh, man. Alright. Did the internet quality improve?
Yeah. Also, I was downloading a movie. Hold on.
It wasn't the Snyder Cut.
Oh, it was.
I believe that. You know what? For people watching the video version, might as well just put like a picture of the Joker here, but like the Jared Leto Joker, the one no one likes.
I'm gonna put the Indian Joker guy from TikTok.
Damn it. I'll take it. It's the Joker.
It's still the Joker. It's still better than Jared Leto's Joker.
Yeah, honestly, any interpretation of the Joker at this point is better than his performance. Yeah. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, I started my own podcast.
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Yes, it's been going pretty well so far. I have 3 episodes up at the time of this filming. I already have another episode with another guest from YouTube already prepped. And I have to record a few more for the back. Yes, it is definitely Emilio, 100%. Under the name Seafish, actually. Emilio made an alternate account for that episode.
Yeah, that's my my account where I talk about cars and furry fetishes.
Yeah, you changed your name to Corey Fish for the episode too, right? I believe.
Yeah, legally, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird actually. He was pretty dedicated to the episode. He actually wanted to PayPal me $50 just to be on there. Where I'm like, dude, just legally change your name and we got a deal. I'll bring you on the podcast anytime you want.
As we all know, when you change your YouTube username, you also have to change your name legally.
Absolutely, that's how the law works.
The boss has already paid upwards of $300 for the 3 times he changed his channel name.
That's not even an exaggeration. Like the money, yes, but I've changed my channel like 3 times. DeBoss Gaming, the short-lived DeBoss Hero Official, and then I just changed it to DeBoss Official. Why did I change it to DeBoss Hero Official? I don't know.
I don't know. I remember one time I shared one of my videos in one of these small YouTubers communities. And basically what we did was sub for sub, and that's how I met Rian. No, I'm just kidding. But
it's like the worst origin in the YouTube community.
But I shared the video, and Rian has this tradition of always commenting on some of my videos, just the most random shit. And but people didn't know that we knew each other, so people thought that the boss was just like a hater or a troll. So I got messages that was like, bro, just ignore that DeBoss original or whatever guy.
Oh yeah, that's right. The DeBoss Hero Official account. That's right. That was right around a few years ago when I changed my name to DeBoss Official. I forget what video I left that comment on though.
I don't remember. You showed me a screenshot
of it or something. Well, you sent me a photo of the guy, and you're like, dude, this guy thinks that you're hating on my video. And you sent me a picture, I'm like, oh my gosh. I don't even remember what the comment was. But
yeah, it was something like, that DeBoss guy is being childish.
Childish.
Ignore him.
Man, have you seen the Smelly Cheese YouTube channel? That's like the definition of childish.
I just wanted to point out that Rian has a video where he reviews toys.
It was a parody video.
I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the Funko videos.
I didn't review those. I never reviewed a Funko Pop.
What were we talking about?
Oh yeah, my podcast. That's right. We totally stayed on track for that. But yes, to circle back to that point after random shiz, yes, I have started my own podcast, and it's not replacing Trash Talk, but it is my own side venture I'm doing on this a little bit here and there.
Yes, and I can certify it's actually enjoyable. Yeah,
I found it literally. That was his first reaction. Was this is actually not complete garbage, and that is like a big compliment from him. I will tell you that right now.
No, but I remember, to me, I don't want to seem rude, but I don't really watch the Boss channel videos.
Oh no!
Just because I watch some of them, but to me it's weird because I know Rian like a little more personal level, and in his The Boss channel he kind of plays a character that is kind of very different to how he is like actually as a person. Because as a person he fucking sucks, guys. Like seriously.
Wow. You know, my real personality is in my DeBoss channel. Thank you very much. I always pour milk on myself. Yeah, we all know this.
That in real life.
Absolutely.
But no, for real life. So for me, it's kind of weird to watch the DeBoss videos. So it's kind of refreshing to see something that's a little bit more laid back. You know, he isn't trying to be funny. He's just trying to like, you know, chill for a little bit.
Yeah, just talk kind of thing.
So it's kind of
weird.
It's kind of weird to listen to a podcast where Rian isn't interrupted every 3 seconds.
Yeah, because that's the interesting thing about the podcast. Well, let's just ignore the fact that like I've tried to swallow tea bags and everything else content-wise, but the weird thing is I'm not interrupted every 30 seconds. That's the thing to focus on. It's interesting you bring that up because that's kind of what I aim to do with the podcast. Like on the boss, like what like Emilio had said, I tried to do comedic content and like all sorts of other videos where I portray someone that I have a humorous personality, but it's not how I am, like, in real life. And Emilio knows this because we've talked many times over the years. But, like, the podcast, I just be myself. I talk about whatever's on my mind, whatever the subject is, and even, like, with guests and stuff that I brought on, like, the latest one, my buddy Goof, for example. We just had a straight-up conversation about all sorts of stuff. And that's the kind of thing I aim to do with the podcast. But it's interesting when you mention it out loud. There is a difference there. Like, if you watch a DeBoss video and then listen to the podcast, it's completely different.
So, when am I going to be on it, Ryan?
Well, we kind of already do a podcast together, so I don't know how necessary it might
It would just be basically... Well, I mean, Ryan said he wanted to do a podcast where we just ask each other questions. But... I think maybe he could just ask me the questions on his show because I honestly have no idea what I could ask Ryan.
Actually, you could ask me a lot of interesting questions. For example, how are you still alive after going under the name DeBoss Official for so long? How's the internet not murdered you yet for having such a stupid name? You could ask me that.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to answer it, obviously, anyways, legal reasons.
I like the podcast. I mean, I like the first podcast the most. Just because he talked about his origins and whatever.
It's kind of an interesting take, actually, because, that whole episode was centered around me just talking about how I got started on YouTube and whatnot. Honestly, I was kind of expecting you to say, not the gaming thing, because, you're not really in the game scene and whatnot, but I thought you were going to be like the collab with Goof. I thought you were going to be in more into that one, to be honest.
Oh, I like that one. I like that one, too, because, well, I've pestered Ryan with this for years, but...
I know where this is going.
Basically, today we were supposed to rank the top 10 DeBoss and Smelly Cheese videos according to the other person. And Ryan used to do these interviews that I didn't really enjoy that much.
Oh my gosh, we're back on my old YouTube interviews. Wow,
because
they weren't that bad.
Oh well, no, I'm
Come
just kidding.
on, they weren't that.
They weren't that bad for sure. They weren't that bad. But an issue that occurred was that everybody always had the same questions. And it was just kind of boring because a lot of people gave the same answers, or a lot of people really weren't so much into that topic that they wouldn't really know how to answer it.
Yeah, admittedly, that's true.
And I think when you interview someone, it shouldn't be like a survey. It should be more like in depth. You should research the person that you're interviewing.
Yeah, actually.
Just so you know how to structure the thingy. So that's why I liked the podcast with Goof, because you went more in depth of who Goof was. And I don't know if you made a small YouTuber interview, whatever they were called, with Goof. Probably.
No, I haven't. I've never done an interview. Surprisingly enough, no, I never did an interview with Goof like that.
Anyways.
No, he was not. It was mostly people I didn't know.
Oh, so that's why. Hey, what the frick? I did one of those interviews.
Yeah, but that was probably like one of the worst ones because I'm not the one that edited it, which everyone can tell who watches that video.
Yeah. Wait, where's the Mobizen logo on this thing?
Oh, yes. He actually downloaded clips. Nope, it was all footage from Emilio.
So I think that's what made it more interesting, I think. I've done interviews in the past. One of my most successful videos is an interview. And I think the hardest part is always when you run out of questions. Because you somehow have to maintain the conversation alive.
And that's something that's an interesting point you mentioned with doing the podcast like with you for so long. It's been two of us here. We have a good dynamic, and we've done plenty of great episodes, and we've known each other for years.
Yeah.
But when it came to me starting my own solo podcast with not knowing anybody else on there, it just being me, it was an interesting take when I brought on like Goof or even Seafish most recently, which that episode isn't out yet. But like the dynamic of sort of
by the time that this podcast,
yeah, that's right. Sorry, when I bring Corey Fish, aka Smelly Cheese, on there. Sorry, but it was an interesting dynamic because when I had like with Goof, for example, I had a few general things I wanted to talk to him about at the start, and we started getting to like his YouTube channel and his passion for podcasting and making music, which is like a primary thing of content he's made on YouTube for the past little while. But then the conversation, we didn't really, it's weird because like those episodes I've done with them, with guests, we've always had something to talk about. The podcast kind of leads into other topics. You talk about one thing, you discuss it, and then it kind of leads into another thing.
The trash talk effect. Fact.
Sure, we'll just call it the trash talk effect. But with like Seafish, for example, a bit of an in-depth look to you guys, we started off talking about his YouTube channel and like some interviews he's branched off into doing, but then it led off into a buying and reselling discussion when he brought up the fact that he, like halfway through the episode, he brought up the fact that he's like a seller on eBay. And then we kind of got into a discussion about that because I do the same thing on the side as a hobby, and we just led into discussion for the back half of the podcast about that, about like the ins and outs of it and our personal experiences. So it's an interesting way that like doing this podcast has helped lead me into, it doesn't have to be an interview like I've done on YouTube. For one, the quality is way better. But the most important thing about it is...
Did you do the sock thingy I told you about?
The sock thing? No. When you gave me that suggestion, that Seafish episode was already recorded.
Oh.
When you gave me that idea. But the thing is, though, you don't always have to have a list of set questions. You could just lead into a discussion as it comes.
First of all, I have to call you out on something.
Oh, no. $5 at Claire's coming.
Well, remember when you kicked that kid in New York City? Well, I'm just kidding.
I don't think that was a pigeon, all right? I thought it was a kid. I mean, but that means I was trying to kick a kid, but kicked a pigeon. Whoops, that makes me look worse.
No, but Ryan, everybody, this is a PSA. Stop calling me Smelly Cheese. It doesn't make sense.
I gotta start calling you Smelly Cheese
because
again,
technically, I'm not Smelly Cheese. The channel was originally created as a video, a place where me and my friends could make videos. But ultimately, they all ended up leaving, and I'm the only one standing. So yes, technically, I am Smelly Cheese, but I'm also not Smelly Cheese because it was supposed to be like a team. But
wait, are you talking about like in episodes where I've mentioned you, like the origin episode, and I refer to you as Smelly Cheese?
Yeah, you said.
For the record, I'm pretty sure I said Emilio from Smelly Cheese.
No, you said Emilio, also known as Smelly Cheese, here on YouTube.
Well, come on YouTube, that is what you're known for. Let's be real here. Like, aside from the podcast, that is your channel.
I'm known for war crimes in Iraq, Ryan. Let's stop dicking around.
Okay, fine. Okay, no, it's Afghanistan, dude. We have to get the country right. If we're gonna reveal that, we have to get the country right. The details matter.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody.
Thank you. Finally. Accuracy. It's important, people. Aside from Emilio's war crimes, yeah.
How do we even progress from that part?
I don't even know. Now people are thinking about, like, what war crimes could he have possibly committed over there? He showed them the DeBoss YouTube channel.
I can't talk about it.
Now he's banned. He did a TikTok interview and hasn't done the OnlyFans interview yet that I told him.
I mean, we can talk about that. For example, the TikTok interview. I prepared, like, not that much for that interview. Just because it was super last minute, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So
I can see it.
You didn't see it? 3,000 people have watched it already.
I didn't watch that one. I'll be honest, I did not watch that one. Not because I didn't want to, but I completely forgot you did that one. I remember now. I watched part of the video, shit posted a comment on it, and then forgot to go back and watch it.
Yeah, you saw it because the guy called you the chubby white guy.
That's right.
Like,
I think I also put the OnlyFans comment on that one.
Yeah, I think you did. No, but like, for example, we can compare that one and the Jenga interview I did with my friend. Like, I had it easier because I already knew these people, right? So it was easier to ask them about their origin story because I was there for it. Mm-hmm. So so memory. But it's still kind of hard, especially the Jenga thing, because it can be kind of a long game. So by the time we were at round 3, I was like, well, I don't have any questions anymore.
It's weird. I mean, for one, Emilio has to make it funny, which is really hard with his personality. I mean, I don't know how he's able to do that with even playing Jenga.
Respond to this podcast if you've ever laughed at the DeBoss video. Well, wait.
Yeah, we're not gonna get any replies on that one. Hey, wait a second here. No, people have laughed. Have you seen the DeBoss anime part 1? I don't think so. If you haven't laughed yet, so go and watch it, because I haven't made a sequel to it in 4 years.
Still waiting for it. Every time I see Ryan, I ask him for a sequel.
Yeah, and I haven't made it yet. I don't even know what I'd do for it at this point. I had an idea planned for it, but I just never ended up doing it.
Anyways, we were talking about something, and I already forgot.
We're talking about the podcasting dynamic. Like, when it comes to making questions with people, like, if you know them and you're doing a podcast episode with them, you have a general idea of what you can discuss. But when it comes to doing a podcast with someone who you've never met as, like, a guest, you could formulate an idea of, like, okay, what content do you make? What do you do in your spare time? Do you play games? Do you watch movies? You know, general stuff. Yeah. But you can't really get into a personal discussion because you have to build a relationship. And if you don't have that, it's really hard to just slide into a further conversation.
I mean, but at the same time, that kind of makes it easier to interview, like, not necessarily YouTubers, but like influencers.
True, people online, we can say that, people over the internet.
Yeah, because most of these people have their entire lives online, so you can just, I don't know, like, check out their page for like maybe an hour and then get a general idea of what they do and what you can ask them about on your show.
It's kind of like the OnlyFans interview. Like, when Emilio and I had first met, whenever I did my first podcast with him, Emilio actually looked at my OnlyFans before it really blew up, like Belle Delphine. He saw all like the sweaty nudes and stuff people were requesting, so that was like one of the first things he asked me. Actually, no, that wasn't even on my channel. That was the first episode of this podcast when I was on.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you asked me about for all my sweaty nudes, and I said you have to pay for them. And I mean, he got mad at me. He cut that part out. Did. I believe that very much. That's how I choose to remember it.
I mean, we now have like really good chemistry.
Yeah, which is weird compared to like that first Trash Talk episode.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna say bad, but
well, I mean, actually, like from the first podcast we did on your channel, I don't remember exactly what was the. Oh yeah. So, okay, for those of you who don't know, me and Ryan met because he used to do this really shitty podcast, and I was the first guest.
It wasn't even really a podcast either, was the funny thing.
And I remember that one of the first things is I did a joke that was like, we're not reading a script, laugh uncomfortably. And then both me and Ryan went, ha 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 ha, like, without a cue. Oh. So I think we kind of had good chemistry from the start. It just we didn't really develop it that much because I remember the one you came on as the co-host of Trash Talk, which, by the way, I want to do another correction of your show. You were already co-host from the end of season 1. You said you joined on season 3, but that is in fact false.
I consider season 3 the best season we've done together, though, because season 2 was kind of all over the place. Yeah. We did 3 reboots during season 1 and 2. I don't even know if those count as seasons, but season 3 and now 4 I consider like official seasons, like aside from 1. Okay. 2 is kind of messy.
Season 1 and 2 are no longer canon, everybody.
Season 1 should be canon. Season 2 was just a mess. It even has an infamous Bahama time zone episode we've already talked about.
Yeah. Anyway, so we did that that show, and I think we, like, obviously at the beginning it was kind of awkward, but you know we.
Yeah. I mean, for me at first, I was optimistic about meeting somebody new at the time on YouTube, and I was really happy to be doing a collaboration, but admittedly, there were points where we got into, like, really great discussions, like that first episode of, like, my old podcast, like I did in, like, 2017 with you. We had some good moments here and there, despite not knowing each other much, but there were points where you could tell these guys don't really know each other very well, and my personality at the time, when it came to actually making a YouTube video talking on camera was not great either for the interview itself. I will be honest.
I think it was fine. Like, you know,
to me, it's kind of meh. Little bit.
I mean, you did have like a sort of structure. Like, I think you actually briefed me on that we had to talk about our YouTube origin.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was the center point of the first like collab we did on like The Boss.
Yeah. But I don't know. I do remember, like, for example, season 2, there was like some awkward moments where we didn't really know how to talk, or sometimes we did get into like heated discussions about like a certain topic, and I was like, "Fuck, Ryan, he has really shitty taste."
I'm trying to even remember what they were about, because there were a few episodes where I remember like we didn't agree on like movies and stuff like that, and we ate a little bit heated here and there, but nothing like extravagant.
Like the infamous political podcast that no longer exists.
Yeah. That was more a misunderstanding on my part because I didn't know certain political things, which was an oopsie doopsie on me. But when it came to, like, that's literally the only bad interaction I could think of between the two of us. Like, in the years we've known each other, that's like the one actual argument we've had, I think.
Yeah, like, because when we disagreed at, like, for example, a Marvel movie ranking we did, I was like, okay, so Ryan really likes Ant-Man and the Wasp for some reason, whatever. And, you know, it just moved along.
I'm pretty sure the one thing we did agree on, though, that really helped, like, the early episodes was, like, that Star Wars ranking episode.
Yeah. Well, yeah, season 3. The Star Wars.
Yeah. The thing that I think that wasn't that season 2? I'm pretty sure that was part of season 2.
That was season 3.
Okay. Well, regardless of what season it was, one thing Emilio and I agreed on that neither of us expected was, like, our favorite Star Wars
and
movie.
Our least favorite.
Yeah, those were the two things we agreed on right off the bat. And this was still earlier on, like, in our relationship in the podcast. Because we were still, for me at least, I was still working out the kinks of, like, how to be a personality when it came to doing something like a podcast. A YouTube video, you can film and edit at your leisure. But a podcast, that's completely different when it comes to content making. So I didn't fully know how to articulate points then. But we did agree on those points, though, and that helped.
The only thing I remember getting angry at was that you liked episode 6 more than episode 5.
My opinions changed since then on my Star Wars movie preferences. Keep in mind, that podcast episode was like, what, 2019, 2018?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, somewhere in that range. My tastes have changed. Rogue One's still my favorite Star Wars movie, by the way, but my ranking has changed since then, here and there.
We should do...
like a follow-up episode?
No. Maybe like a DC ranking. Except I haven't watched all the DC movies. So.
That wouldn't be a bad one. I think the real meat of that episode would be talking about the good ones, and everything else is just a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
But like the real question for those movies is which one is the better dumpster fire?
Basically, I mean,
I think that one would be more. I think that would actually be more interesting rather than saying like this is our favorite DC movie because all the other ones are bad. We go over which ones, despite the fact most of them are bad, which one's the best, even though it's still a terrible movie.
I think I only liked Birds of Prey.
I didn't see Birds of Prey. I've seen pretty much. Okay, that and Shazam. I haven't seen Shazam.
I haven't watched Shazam either.
It looks really good. The last one that I saw was Wonder Woman 1984.
I did see that one either. I'll tell you the ones I haven't watched.
Spoiler alert, it's not as good as the original.
I haven't watched...
It's alright.
Wonder Woman 2 or whatever it's called.
1984, that's basically Wonder Woman 2.
Shazam and the Snyder Cut. Those are the ones I'm missing. But
I haven't seen Snyder Cut either, but it has to be better than the original Justice League.
Probably.
It has to.
I mean, obviously, Cole isn't like a trusted source because he's a Snyder fanboy. But my friend Marka, I do trust his opinion when it comes to movies sometimes. Because we have gotten into really like deep arguments about certain movies. But he told me that like the Snyder Cut, it's okay. Like it's not as big as a deal as people hype it up to be, but it's like it's enjoyable, basically.
I think
it's definitely overrated.
I honestly think the okay, two things I think contribute to the Snyder Cut being successful. One, it's this big deal with like Warner Bros. And Zack Snyder and this whole movie that has to be better than the original 2016 film that has a lot more stuff to appeal to DC fans that just never got released. The fact that this unreleased footage exists, I think that was a big thing that people wanted it released. Like, release the Snyder Cut because we have this footage here that should be better. We want it now. I think it was that, the idea that this footage just wasn't ever going to be released. But two, I think it was just like the personal story of Zack Snyder, how he made the movie for his daughter who passed away, and I think that was like a big thing people wanted.
No, because he didn't make the movie for her. I think he left the project because she passed away. Like, I
think he continued it though, like in her. I saw somewhere it was like related to his daughter. That was an inspiration.
No. I know that the Snyder Cut, the 2021 release, is dedicated to this person, but it was never originally planned for that. But
okay, I think so in that case, then I think that's a conception then that people are getting really linked to because of Snyder's personal connection with people that he deemed involved, like really involved with the project for him personally. I think that was another thing people had latched onto, because when I saw arguments about people saying why the Snyder Cut deserves to be recognized, not just for the movie quality, but for Zack Snyder himself, which I'm sure Cole would be all over. Yeah. He probably would be confirming that left and right. But the fact of the matter is, the Snyder Cut, from what I've seen, looks better than Justice League, but admittedly, it's not like a 10 out of 10 film. Like, I don't think that either.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I'm just kind of lazy to watch it because it's 4 hours long.
Emilio here is just going to pirate the movie and just illegally download it instead of using HBO Max for a 30-day free trial you could get.
But it's not like I just... Because, I can get HBO Max, but then I have to pay a premium on the movie, like what they did with Mulan.
Was that movie even good? The live-action one? I never saw
it sucked, bro. I watched it recently because it's nominated for 2 Oscars.
Oh, my...
From
what I had heard people...
Yeah?
Yeah. No, I was going to say I had heard people say the original animated movie was way better than the live-action version, and the sequel that came out to it, yes, a sequel to Mulan released to VHS exists, and I saw it. It's apparently better than the live-action film, and no one remembers the second sequel to Mulan.
I didn't know there was a sequel, but the bar is pretty low because the live-action movie sucks.
Dude, I saw the original. I've watched it many times as a kid. I love the original Mulan. The sequel I saw a few times. It's an okay meh kind of stereotypical Disney released kind of sequel, but it's better than the live action film. I could guarantee you.
With none of the original actors.
No, I mean that would have been great though. They would have brought the original voice actors to even portray them on screen. That would
no. I meant like those straight to VHS sequels. It's never the original cast.
Oh yeah, well I think for Mulan, I think they brought at least Mulan and I think Shang. I'm pretty sure they brought they did, and Mushu. They brought back the original voice actors for them, but everyone else I don't think so.
Oh wow. No, but the Mulan movie sucks, and like. It didn't matter that you had Disney Plus. There was you have to pay $30 extra.
I can no joke. The only reason I remember Disney Plus even exists is because there's big budget shows. Yeah, WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier released on there fairly recently. Like that has been the most watched show up to this date on Disney Plus. Apparently, it was viewed so much Disney Plus crashed at one point, and this is like the most viewed.
I thought it was for The Mandalorian.
No, Falcon and Winter Soldier I think have overtaken Mandalorian now from what was recently reported. People are really into the show, and it looks good from what I've seen of it, but I haven't watched it.
Yeah, I was about to ask. Do you have Disney Plus?
I don't have Disney Plus. That's hence why I keep forgetting it exists. There's just nothing besides
time to spoil it. So basically, it's really crazy when the Winter Soldier meets Barney the dinosaur. It's like wild.
Oh, damn it. I thought you were going to say Helmut Zemo from Civil War, which actually does happen, which is in the trailer.
Yeah, I love Daniel Brühl. He's my favorite actor. He's in my favorite movie.
What movie would that be?
The Emoji Movie.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That was a fantastic film. I'm so glad I didn't pay money to see that.
Oh, I did. I have a video about it.
Wow. Was it worth the video?
Yeah, I think the video's kind of funny, but
Damn it.
Yeah, I told my friend Jake he did it as a bet. He was like, I was told I don't remember what he was gonna get if he went to watch it, but and I told it for the meme.
Eye
Right?
bleach. Hopefully he got that out of it.
So I did a vlog there with him. It was kind of
I think
awkward
I watched that.
because it's, it's a movie for little kids and, and
Yeah, and you're posting on the internet for people to see that, hey, I went and watched this kid's movie, ironically.
yeah. But anyways, my favorite movie is Goodbye Lenin. You should check it out. It's my favorite movie of all time.
I've never heard of this movie.
Well, because you're not cultured like me, Ryan, basically.
Yeah, says the guy who went and watched the Emoji Movie for a vlog. Yeah, culture my ass.
I remember, actually, I got that comment. I posted a picture to Facebook of me and my friend at the movie theater and standing outside the poster of the Emoji Movie, dabbing under it.
Yeah.
And one of my friends commented something like, ew, that's disgusting. And I responded something like, of course you wouldn't understand quality film making.
Oh my god.
And she was like, excuse me, Mr. Culture.
Yeah, definitely cultured. Quote unquote cultured.
Something we could do maybe is like top 10 favorite TV shows or favorite movies. Maybe we could do that.
That would actually be cool. I could see that would be interesting for me to think about because I remember I had a conversation recently with someone from work in some way. I forget how it was brought up about what my favorite movie would be that I had seen because I think we got into a discussion about like favorite TV shows and stuff. And the movie that I thought of at the time because I couldn't think of anything else was Baby Driver because that's a movie to me. It was a fantastic film. It's so simple in its premise, but the way that they execute the story and the characters is just phenomenal to me. I don't think that's my actual favorite film of all time. I'd have to think about that one.
The
but
Emoji Movie.
I can tell you that would. Yeah, I'm so glad again. I never saw the Emoji Movie. But like I said, I wouldn't say Baby Driver is my favorite but it would be up there. But it wouldn't be my number one.
I think it's a good movie.
Have to think about that. I mean, it's a good film. I just have to. I don't know what that's an interesting question for me. What would my favorite be? Because I've watched so many great movies, but I've also watched some duds too.
Okay.
Like one of the worst movies I think I've ever seen in recent memory was Doolittle, the Robert Downey Jr. version.
I've heard it sucked.
It sucked bad, man. It was not worth it whatsoever. I feel bad for Robert Downey Jr. because he came off such a great performance in Avengers Endgame, only for that to be his next big budget.
Yeah, I remember everybody was talking about it like it was the next big thing, and it just completely flopped. Granted, the pandemic started when it came out. Oh.
Wow, Doolittle was so bad that Discord crashed.
Yeah. Well, anyways, whilst Ryan thinks about his favorite show, I'll give you my review of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
All right, it was terrible. Moving on.
It's okay. Like, it's not as good as WandaVision. I feel like it's
did
missing
you actually
that.
watch it?
I'm watching it currently. The last episode comes out on Friday.
Episode 6, I believe it is.
Yeah, it's like it's okay. Like there's some interesting messaging in it, but it's not it's not as good as WandaVision, especially.
I mean, I'm gonna be transparent here. I haven't watched the show, but I know the plots of the episodes. I read them online. I know what happens in most of the episodes. So, I mean, I'm the type of person who, when I see a movie and I read something about it, it doesn't spoil it for me because that just makes me want to see it more. If it's like an interesting plot line and it looks good,
I have to go to every movie not knowing anything about it. I actually don't watch trailers even.
For me, it depends on the movie, or the video game. Like in this case, I'll use a video game example. I don't mind seeing demos for it, but I don't want to read the plot of Resident Evil 8. I want to play that game blind for me. But this is not a movie, but it's just an example of something I like to go into blind. But most things I don't mind seeing stuff for.
But what is your favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show? Damn. One that I've enjoyed the most. There have been a lot of great shows that I've been a fan of over the years. A lot of them have been crime dramas, you would call it. Specifically, CSI has been earlier on. It was my favorite show to watch of all time. I would have to say the other show that took over for a while was the DC
Flash.
TV show Flash. It's not my favorite show though. I used to like it for the first several seasons. They did it really well, but over the years, over the past, like, since season 4 and, like, since then, it's just kind of been all over the place in quality. So I stopped watching it, which I'm not really ashamed to say now because of what the show's kind of been doing.
Is it still airing?
Oh no, it's still airing. They're in the middle of season 7 right now. They've already been renewed for season 8.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's the Flash, man. It's like one of the most iconic DC characters of all time, so of course he's going to have a long show. They have so many things they could do with it, I guess.
Yeah. I mean,
I would say...
I mean, for me,
go ahead.
an episode, a TV show like that, that I've had that experience was The Walking Dead.
I never got into that show, to be honest with you.
I'm happy. You're so lucky. Because it starts off really good, but then the plots are always like the same through each season, and I think they're gonna have like 80 more seasons, so it's like kind of boring already.
I mean, so the show is probably never gonna die, if I'm honest.
It's gonna be the next Grey's Anatomy or something. Probably.
Favorite TV show, though, I'm gonna have to say my favorite TV show of all time was probably...
Bleep! We're gonna save that for the top 10 TV shows episode.
Oh man. Oh, dang it. Well, this mystery show, I guess, is gonna have to wait, ladies and gentlemen, but that's probably my favorite.
I can't believe
one.
He said...
the Emoji favorite TV show of all time.
Yeah, he watched it when it came out on cable.
Absolutely. Well, like a poor person, because I couldn't afford it. It's not the fact that I didn't want to watch it.
But yeah, I mean, I think my favorite show, I do have like very clearly which one is like my favorite show of all time. It's kind of weird because it's not my favorite show because I think it's the best. It's my favorite show because it showed me a different narrative style of show.
Fair. Just between you and me, what is it? Oh, no kidding. I actually, okay. Interesting one.
Oh, man. I just had to bleep that.
Oh, dang. Man, wow. It's such a great show, everyone. It's The Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's his favorite show of all time.
My favorite show of all time. My favorite show of all time is Desperate Housewives.
I thought it was Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Anyways, guys, I think this is a good moment to finish off the show because we're already planning future episodes without even being able to finish this one. We're planning
future. Yes, we got into some great topics though. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed all the bleeping we've had to do this episode. I haven't seen this much bleeping since the
N-word episode.
Oh yeah! Oh damn! Yeah, that's like our other deleted episode. Actually, we couldn't do that one. I said nougat in the middle of the video, and we had to ban it.
Isn't there an episode where I tell you, we're gonna say that N-word, and you go nougat, and I cut it right before.
You did. You bleeped the word out, and you had to confirm, like everyone, he didn't actually say it. I said nougat. I established the fact I said it. I hope no one actually thought then I said it. I've never said that word in my life.
What about that one time? Oh shit. Gotta bleep that part.
Oh, damn it.
Anyways, guys.
You have to cut this whole podcast segment out. Damn it.
You can follow me on all my social media, link below. Check out my YouTube channel. You can also check out this podcast on Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Pocket Podcast, Breaker, and many more. And if you're on Anchor, you can send us a voice message.
And you might be featured in a future episode. And if you guys want to follow me on anything, you can follow me at DeBossOfficial.
Wait a minute. You're DeBossOfficial?
Oh, you didn't know that, dude? Oh, wow. We know each other for years, and you never knew I ran the DeBoss channel.
Yeah, I thought you were, it's like a weird coincidence, you just got the same name and same face. That's what
it's weird. Happened. It's interesting. I'm the guy who poured milk on himself, failed to swallow tea bags, made a terrible NASCAR ride, and then made this shitty podcast episode with this random dude expired milk or something like that. It was a weird episode, but But if you guys,
everybody knows you. You might as well not plug your stuff because you're the boss.
Well, I mean, you never know. There's that one person that for some reason doesn't know. But you guys can follow me at DeBossOfficial at YouTube.com. You guys can check out all the content that I've we'll probably end up producing at some point in the future with comedy, skits, memes, and of course gaming. And you guys can follow my new podcast, The Boss Cast, on Spotify, Anchor, Pocket Podcast, and various other platforms. You guys can check that out as well.
It's called The Boss Cast because that's Ryan's dad's name. As you all know, Ryan's dad passed away. And his name was
How'd you know
Boss
my
Cast.
dad's name? I thought his name was Cast. The boss part came from me.
Oh, well, yes, because that's much more reasonable.
All right, well, Mr. Fish, who changed his name to desperately appear on the Boss Cast podcast. Best friend changed his name to get on podcast.
I'm curious what it would be like if I would come onto your show. It'd be just like inverted trash talk.
It'd be trash talk, but more normal.
Trash talk with all the vasectomy references.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh, we didn't make the vasectomy. Oh yeah, well, can we even make the vasectomy episode reference now since it's not the most viewed anymore?
It's not the. It hadn't been the most viewed for a long time. The most viewed used to be the best friend suspended because of Minecraft episode.
Probably because of the Minecraft part of it, maybe.
Yeah.
What's the most viewed one now? It's like the president one, right?
The president one and the season finale where we did the
Christmas
Christmas play thing.
You guys, I'm pretty sure the season finale was like way better just because of the whole improv thing that we did. That was fantastic.
That was the funniest thing we've ever done.
Absolutely. Hardest I've ever laughed on this show. I said it before and I'll say it again.
Guys, goodbye. Get out of my house.
All right. Peace, everyone.